Hello, my name is Brian Becker. I am in Mr. Austin's 2B AP US History class. Before I get started, I wanted to let you know that I am currently sitting in my freezing cold basement because that is the only quiet place in this house. Let's get started. The source of this picture it doesn't have a title. However, the source of the picture is from an online article called A Filthy History: When New Yorkers Lived Knee-Deep in Trash. This article is from a website called collectorsweekly.com. The context of this picture is taken in New York around the time of the Second Industrial Revolution at the end of the 19th century going into the 20th century. The point of view, I think this is a tough one. I think that the point of view of this picture is just a local of New York during the time period, maybe someone else on the streets, someone that lived and knows the area. The purpose is just to show the living conditions of big cities during this revolution and urbanization. Some related themes that I found with this picture are migration and settlement, because during this time we had a lot of immigrants coming from all around the world to work in factories. Geography and environment, because the entire environment around them is changing and becoming more developed. National and American identity, because this is what America is industrializing, growing, and having success in the economy. Politics and power, the government is expanding and having more power and involvement with the economy. Work exchange and technology, I think this is kind of an obvious one, but the advancement in technology, the huge boosted jobs and factory workers. And finally, the last one is culture and society. This was the new culture of the U.S., just advancing, and the society was just very different before and after this urbanization occurred. Speaking of urbanization, my question was, what were both causes and effects of urbanization at the turn point of the century? To answer the question, the causes of this revolution is primarily because of the abundance of labor and natural resources, updated sources of power such as horsepower and not just relying on steam power, a strong government, and a new Enlightenment thinkers. The effect of these key causes is manufacturing and production rates rocketed. Transportation was so much more convenient. There was an agricultural boost. These improvements essentially created a new standard of living for people in the United States. However, when there's a good, there must also be a bad. Because of this, all these new great technologies and innovations, unemployment rates actually started to steadily increase because machines were actually taking over human jobs that people could have done in factories. But there were still some factory workers in big cities. Like, it didn't all just happen, you know. Living conditions started to become close quarters again, just like the first Industrial Revolution. Sanitation wasn't very well, clearly, according to this picture. You can see that because what the kids are wearing, and the fact that there's a dead horse on the side of the street. But honestly, that wasn't uncommon, seeing stuff like that. That was just the life they lived. But as a whole, the country greatly advanced, and everything just became easier. Alrighty, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson from Brian.